Hello dear followers of Mwalimu Theophil Academy, welcome again to this session. Here I'm going to take you through zero and negative exponents. First of all, we are going to start with the zero exponent. For this, let's consider a raised to 5 divided by a raised to 5. The first way. The first way, we may go this way. A raised to 5 divided by a raised to 5 is equal to a times a times a times a times a. 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Divided by a times a times a times a times a. In this a cancels with this one, this cancels with this cancels with this cancels with this one cancels with this, remaining with the 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. Now we get 1. Let's take this as equation 1. A second way, we may solve this. A second way of solving this, we may use division law of exponents. In division law of exponents, we are told that this a raised to 5 divided by a raised to 5 will be equal to, as it is division and we have the same base, we take a single base, then we subtract the exponents. Now it will be 5 minus 5. This minus this. This will give us a 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. Now, let's take this as equation 2. Here, this is a raised to 5 divided by a raised to 5. And this is a raised to 5 divided by a raised to 5. So this is equal to this. It means that even the answers obtained will be equal. It means that this one will be equal to a raised to 0, as they are raised from the same question. Now we may conclude that we may equate equation 1 is equal to equation 2. That a raised to 0 is equal, a raised to 0 is equal to 1. So generally we say that any value except 0 raised to 0, the answer will be what? 1. So a raised to 0 will be 1, where a is a real number, is n real number, except 0, as 0 raised to 0 will be undefined. Again, let's go to a second concept of negative exponent. Let's take an example. Let's consider a raised to 4 divided by a raised to 6. Now we may solve this the same as we have done here in 2 ways. The first way, we may say that a raised to 4 divided by a raised to 6 will be equal to a times a times a times a 4 times, divided by a times a times a times a times a times a 6 times. Now this a cancels with this one, we get 1. A and the a cancelled, this a and the a cancelled, this a and the a cancelled. Now in the numerator side we don't have any extra a, but in the denominator side we have 2 a's remaining. Now a raised to 4 divided by a raised to 6 will be equal to, here we are left with the 1 divided by, here we are left with the 2 a's. A times a is a squared. Now our answer will be a raised to 4 divided by a raised to 6 will be equal to 1 divided by a raised to 2. This is the answer. Now take this as equation 1. Let's go to a second way of solving this. Second way, we may say that a raised to 4 divided by a raised to 6 is equal to. Here we are going to use the same division law of exponent as we have done in the first part when we were dealing with the zero exponent. Now here we say that if we have the same base and it is a division, we take one base and we subtract the exponent. Now it will be 4, the exponent from the numerator, minus the exponent from the denominator. Now this will be equal to a 4 minus 6 is equal to negative 2. Let's take this is equation 2. Again, here a raised to 4 divided by a raised to exponent 6, the answer is equal to a raised to negative 2. Again, in the same question, a raised to 4 divided by a raised to exponent 6 gives us 1 over a raised to 2. So it means that this is equal to this, and this is equal to this, and this is equal to this. So it means that equation 1 is equal to equate equation 1 is equal to equation 2. Equation 2. So we may equate them. When we equate them, it means 1 divided by a raised to 2 is equal to a raised to negative 2. We get 1 over a raised to 2, which is equation 1, is equal to the value of equation 2, which is a raised to negative 2. Now look across this equation. You may deduce that here there is 2 and here there is negative 2, but the same base, a raised to 2, a raised to negative 2. So we may generalize that 1 divided by a raised to n will be equal to, we take the base, this base raised to the same n but in negative, having a negative sign, raised to n. As here we have 2 positive and here is 2 but in negative. So 1 over a raised to n is equal to a raised to negative n. Also from this same equation, it is true to say that 1 over a raised to negative n is equal to a raised to n. These two equations will be true if n is an real number but a is not equal to 0. After this introductory part, let's see various examples. This is the first example, which states that simplify each of the following expressions by writing your answers in positive exponents. Part A, x raised to 5 divided by x raised to exponent 7. Now let's see the solution for part A first. A, we are given x raised to 5 divided by x raised to 7. Here we are required to express the answer in positive exponent. Now this is going to be equal to x is division. You have the same base. You take your one base and you will subtract the exponents. 5 minus 7. Here we are going to have x 5 minus 2. We get negative 2. But the answer should be in positive exponents. If you remember the law of negative exponent, it is that if you have the exponent being negative, it is the same as the one who reciprocate it, and the exponent to remain the same but with the positive sign. So it will be equal to 1 divided by x raised to 2. Now this is the answer. B. In B we are told a raised to 4, b 17 divided by a raised to 10 times b raised to 11. This will be equal to we take a single a, but as it is division we subtract the exponent, 4 minus 10, where we get negative 6. BB, we take a single b. As it is division, we subtract the exponent. Now it is 17 minus 11, where we get 6. But the instruction is to express the answer in positive exponent. So this is a raised to negative 6 times b raised to 6. Now this should be expressed in positive as the exponent for b. As usual, to change the negative exponent into positive exponent, we just reciprocate the whole number and the exponent remain the same in magnitude, but in sign it becomes positive. So it will be b raised to 6 over a raised to 6. Now we have reciprocated a raised to negative 6 to 1 over a raised to 6. And the final answer will be, as here the exponent is 6 and here 6, we combine b and a this way. We use a single bracket this way, then raised to 6. So our answer will be b divided by a raised to 6. After that, let's go to a second example. Okay, this is our second example. It states that you simplify each of the following expressions and give your answer in negative exponents. Now, let us see the solution. A, we are given 3 raised to 9 divided by 3 raised to 16. This will be equal to 3. We take 3 as the same base, then we subtract the exponents as it is division, 9 minus 16. So you are going to have 3 raised to negative 7. But we are required to give the answer in negative exponent. So as the exponent is negative, now we are through. The answer will be 3 raised to negative 7. B. In B, we are given 0.7 raised to 6 divided by 0.7 raised to 2. This will be equal to, as we have the same base, we take a single base, then we subtract the exponent as it is division. Now it is 6 minus 2. This one is 6 minus 2. Where we get 0.7 raised to 4. But the instruction is to express your answer in negative exponent. And here we have positive exponent as usual. To change positive exponents to negative exponent, we just reciprocate the present number in exponential form. Then the exponent is the sign for exponent becomes negative. So here it will be equal to 1 divided by 0.7 raised to negative 4. This is the answer. Now we are through with the 2 examples. After a second example, I went to a third example. This is a third example. Simplify each of the following expressions and write the answer in positive or 0 exponent. So the final answer should be written in 0 exponent or positive exponent. Now let's see the solution for each. Let us start with the A. We are given x raised to 4 divided by x raised to 7. This will be equal to x. We take as one base as we have the same base, and it is division, we subtract the exponents. So it is x4 minus 7. It will be equal to x raised to negative 3. But the instruction is to express the answer as positive or 0 exponent. Now, here as we have negative exponent, the final answer will be, we reciprocate the obtained number if it has negative exponent, so as to have positive exponent. Now it will be 1 over x raised to 3. In B, we are given 3x raised to 4, y raised to 2, bracket raised to 3, over 9x squared, y raised to 4. This will be equal to, this is expressed under the same exponent, which is 3. So this exponent is multiplied to each of the value inside. Now 3 will be 3 times 3 raised to 3. This one x raised to 4. Now this 4 is multiplied by 3. We are going to have x raised to 12. Y raised to 2. 2 times 3 becomes 6. Now it becomes y raised to 6 over 9 times x raised to 2, y raised to 4. 3 times 3 times 3, we get 27. Here we get 27 divided by this 9 here, multiplied by here x and here x. We take one x, we subtract the exponent as it is division. 12 minus 2, we get 10. Here y, we take one y. We subtract the exponent as it is division. 6 minus 4, we get 2. Now the final answer will be 27 divided by 9, 3. It is 3, x raised to 10 times y raised to 2. This is the answer. Okay, let's go to part C. In C are given 2u raised to 3 times v raised to 2 bracket raised to 4 over 4u square v bracket square. This will be equal to, here this whole term is raised to 4. Now we multiply each value inside the bracket raised to 4. Now 2 raised to 1 will be equal to 2 raised to 4. U raised to 3 will be equal 3 times 4, which is u raised to 12. V raised to 2 will be 2 times 4, which is v raised to 8. Then we divide by this whole term is in each component in this bracket will be raised to 2. Now we multiply the exponents. 4 raised to 1 times 2 is equal to 4 raised to 2. U raised to 2 will be equal to 2 times 2, 4. U raised to 4. V raised to 1 will be equal to 1 times 2, and then it becomes a v raised to 2. After that, 2 raised to 4 is 16. 4 raised to 2 is also 16. U and u, we take one u. As it is division, we subtract the exponent. 12 minus 4, we get 8. V and v, we take one v. As it is division, we subtract the exponent. 8 minus 2, 6. 16 divided by 16 is 1. Now the final answer becomes u raised to 8 times v raised to 6. This is the answer. After that, let's go to D. Part D states that 5a square times b raised to 3 bracket raised to 2 multiplied by bracket 3 raised to times a raised to negative 1 b bracket raised to 3 divided by 15 times a b raised to 2 bracket exponent 2. Here this will be equal to, this whole term is raised to 2. It means that each value inside the bracket will be expressed under the exponent of 2. Now 5 raised to 1 times 2, we're going to have 5 square times a raised to 2 times 2 is a raised to 4, b raised to 3 times 2 is b raised to 6. We multiply by. This also is expressed in the same exponent, under the same exponent, which is 3. Now we multiply this 3 in each exponent inside the bracket. So 3 raised to 1 times 3 will be 3 raised to 3 times a raised to negative 1 times the 3 will be a raised to negative 3 times b raised to 1 times 3 is b raised to 3. We divide by. Again, this whole term in bracket is expressed in the same, under the same exponent, which is 2. Now this 2 is multiplied in each exponent inside the bracket. Now we are going to have 15 square times a square times b raised to 2 times 2, 4, this way. After that, we're going to have 5 square, which is 25, multiplied by this 3 raised to 3 is 27, raised to 2 is 225. This one multiplied by, let's start with the A. Here we have A, here A, and in the denominator A. So the A's in the numerator are multiplied together. A raised to 4 times A raised to negative 3. We are going to take a single A and we add the exponent. So 4 plus negative 3, we get positive 1. Positive 1, we subtract with the 2 in the denominator. As in the denominator, if the bases are the same and that of the numerator, we take a single base and we subtract the exponent. Now, we subtract 2 from the exponent obtained in the numerator, which was 1. Now, 1 obtained in the numerator, the exponent of 1 obtained in the numerator minus 2 in the denominator, we get negative 1. For the case of b, b raised to 6 times b raised to negative 3, we add exponent, we get b raised to 9. That 9 minus 4, we get 5, b raised to 5. 25 times 27, we get 600, we get 675. 675 divided by 225, we get 3. So we get 3. We get 3 here. When we divide this times a raised to negative 1 times b raised to 5. But we are instructed in the question to express the final answer in a positive or zero exponent. So this negative exponent should be omitted. Now, as usual, we omit the negative exponent by reciprocating it where it becomes positive exponent. Now, when we reciprocate a raised to negative 1, it becomes 1 over a raised to 1, which is equal to 1 over a. Now, the final answer is going to be 3 b raised to 5 divided by a. After that, let's see the solution for part E. E is this one. In E, we are given that bracket 6m raised to 4 times n raised to negative 2 bracket square times opening bracket 3m raised to negative 2 times n raised to 3 bracket raised to exponent 3 divided by 18m raised to 1. The whole raised to 2. So this is E. Now we're going to solve it. This will be equal to, this whole term is expressed in the same exponent. Now this exponent is multiplied to each of the value inside the bracket. Now this 6 becomes 6 raised to 2 times m raised to 4 times 2, m raised to 8 times n raised to negative 2 times 2, negative 4 times 3 raised to 3 times m raised to negative 2 times 3, which is m raised to negative 6 times n 3 times 3, n raised to 9. This way. After that, we divide as usual. This becomes 18 square, this way, m raised to 2 times n raised to negative 1 times 2, which is negative 2. Here we are going to have 6 raised to 2 times this 3 raised to 3 over this 18 square bracket times m. M we have m here and here. In the numerator are multiplied. M raised to 8 times m raised to negative 6, we add the exponent. You take a single m, we add the exponent. 8 plus negative 6, we get positive 2. Positive 2 minus 2 in the denominator here. Now we get 2 minus 2, which becomes 0. For the case of n, we have n here, and n here in our denominator. Now, in the numerator, we add the exponents and you take a single base as they are the same. So 9 plus negative 4, we get positive 5. Positive 5 minus negative 2, we get positive 7. 6 square is 36. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. We divide by 18 square, we get 324. We multiply by n raised to 7 times 1 as any value except 0 raised to 0, we get 1. Now it is n raised to 7 times 1. That's why there's no necessity of writing again this m raised to 0. After that, let's multiply this and divide. 36 times 27 divided by 324. We get 3. Now the answer will be 3 times n raised to 7. This is the final answer. After that, let's go to example 4. Here, this is example 4. It is stated that simplify each of the following expressions and write the answer in negative exponent. Let us start with the A. 2 raised to 3 times 4 raised to 4 divided by 2 raised to 5 again raised to 2, exponent 2. But the task we are given here is to solve each of the following and express the answer in negative exponent. Now let's start. 2 raised to 3 times 4 raised to 4 divided by 2 raised to 5 raised again to 2. This will be equal to 2 raised to 3 times 2 raised to 2 times 4, 8 divided to 2 raised to 10, which is equal to 5 times 2. This will be equal to, we take a single base 2 and we add the exponent as it is multiplication. Now we get it to 11. Here 2 raised to 10. The final answer will be 2 raised to 10, 2 raised to 11 divided by 2 raised to 10. We are going to have 2 as 11 minus 10 is 1. Now the final answer is 2. But remember, we are instructed to express the final answer in negative exponent. Now, when 2 is expressed in negative exponent, becomes this way. 2 is equal to the one who writes 2 raised to 1. Now, to get negative exponent, we reciprocate the present number and its exponent becomes negative. Now, it will be 1 divided by 2 raised to negative 1. So, this is the answer for part A. 1 divided by 2 raised to negative 1. B. In B, we are given x squared times y squared times z raised to negative 1 bracket times x raised to negative 1 times y times z raised to 4 bracket again times x raised to negative 3 times y bracket. Here this will be equal to, here you have x, now it's combining or x as it is multiplication. We are going to add the exponent. Here we have 2 plus negative 1, we get positive 1, plus negative 3, we get negative 2. Here we have y. Now we combine y through multiplication. Now we add the exponents. 2 plus 1 here, we get 3. 3 plus 1 here, we get 4. Now y raised to 4. Z. We have z here and here, 2 parts. Now we have z raised to negative 1 times z raised to 4. We take here single z and we add the exponent negative 1 plus 4. We get 3. This is the answer, but we are asked to express the final answer in negative exponent. Now, here we have x raised to negative 2 is correct, but y raised to 4 is positive exponent and z raised to 3 is positive exponent. Now, we reciprocate these two to have negative exponents. So, Here it will be, the final answer will be x remaining as it is, raised to negative 2, divided by y raised to negative 4 times z raised to negative 3. Now, this is the answer for part B. X raised to negative 2 divided by y raised to negative 4 times z raised to negative 3. Now, let's go to part C. As you see, part C, this one, we are given 3 pi square times r square times h square times h raised to 4 divided by pi times r raised to 3 times h. This is going to be equal to, here we have 3, pi and pi are combined, we write a single pi, and we subtract the exponents as it is division. 2 minus 1, which is here, we get 1. Now it remains as a pi. Here we have r. R, we subtract the exponent. 2 minus 3, we get negative 1. H, we subtract again the exponents as it is division. We write a single h, and if we subtract the exponents this way, 4 minus 1, which becomes 3. So this will be equal to 3 pi r raised to negative 1. But this h raised to 3 has a positive exponent. But in the question we asked to write the answer having only negative exponents. Now we reciprocate this so as to make this exponent to become negative. So it will be divided by h raised to negative 3. Now this is the answer. 3 times pi times r raised to negative 1 divided by h raised to negative 3. In part D we are given 2a raised to 5 times b raised to negative 3 raised to 3 times 4a raised to negative 3 b square bracket raised to 4 divided by bracket 8a raised to 4 b raised to negative 2 bracket raised to negative 3. This is what you are given in part D. Now, this is going to be equal to, here we have these exponents outside the brackets. It means that these exponents should be multiplied to each item which is within a bracket. Now, this 2 is going to be multiplied by this 3, it is going to be expressed to this exponent. Now it will be 2 raised to 3. A raised to 5, 5 times 3 becomes 15. Now A raised to 15. B to negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. B raised to negative 9. We multiply by 4 raised to 4. This way 4 raised to 4 times A raised to negative 3 times 4, which becomes negative 12, times B raised to 2 times 4, which becomes 8. Then we divide by this one. Again, this 8 is expressed to, this 8 is raised to negative 3 as its exponent. 8 raised to negative 3 times A, this A times A raised to 4 times negative 3, which is A raised to negative 12, times B raised to negative 2 times negative 3, which becomes B raised to positive 6. 2 raised to 3 is 8. Again, you multiply with this number. 4 raised to 4 is 256. We divide by 8 raised to negative 3. Sorry, here original was exponent positive 3, not negative 3. So even here the values change. Here becomes 8 raised to positive 3, and this 4 times 3 becomes positive 12, and negative 2 times 3 becomes negative 6, this way. Now 8 raised to 3 becomes 512. We multiply by, here we take A is here and here, so A raised to 15 times A raised to negative 12. We write the single A and we add the exponent as it is multiplication. Now 15 plus negative 12 we get positive 3, but also we have for A in denominator, which is positive 12. Now positive 3 minus 12, we get negative 9. Again, times B. We have B here and B here. Here is negative 9, here positive 8. When we add them as they are multiplied, we get negative 9 plus 8, we get negative 1. Negative 1 minus negative 6 is the same as negative 1 plus 6, where we get positive 5. So here this is equal to, when we take 8 times 256 divided by 512, we get 4. We get 4. After getting 4, we multiply by A raised to negative 9 times B raised to 5. But remember, the instruction in the question was to express the final answer having negative exponent. Now, A raised to negative 9 is correct, but to write B raised to 5 according to the instruction would not be correct. So we reciprocate this B raised to 5 to make it having negative exponent. Now the final answer becomes 4 A raised to negative 9 divided by B raised to exponent negative 5, this way. And this is the final answer. After that, let us see the last part, which is part E. As you see here, part E states that 6m raised to 4 times n raised to negative 2 bracket square divided by 3m square times n raised to negative 4 bracket raised to exponent 3. So as we find in each inner numerator and denominator, we have the external exponents. Now these external exponents should be multiplied to each exponent inside. Now let us see. Here it will be equal to, 6 raised to 2, this 2 here, times the m raised to 4 times the 2, which is 8, times the n raised to exponent negative 2 times the 2, which is negative 4. We divide by 3 raised to 3 times m raised to 2 times the 3, which is 6, times n raised to negative 4 times the 3, which becomes negative 12. After that, here we have 6 times 6, which is 6 square, divided by 3 times 3 times 3, multiplied by, here we have m, we take a single m, but we have m in our numerator and denominator. Now is m in the numerator and denominator, it is division, so we subtract the exponents. 18 minus 6 is 2, n and the n, so that's a single n, and we subtract the exponents. Negative 4 minus negative 12 is equal to negative 4 plus 12, where we get positive 8. Then we simplify here by 3. So here, after simplifying, in the numerator we're left with the 2 times the 2, which is 4m square times n raised to 8 divided by, here 1 times 1 times 3 is 3. But in the question we are instructed to express the final answer in negative exponent or exponents. Now here the exponents that we have are positive. Now to express this positive exponents into negative, we should reciprocate these exponential values. So it becomes 4 divided by 3 times m raised to negative 2 times n raised to negative 8. Now, this is the answer for part E of this example 4. After that, we are going to see the last example, which is example 5. This is our 5th example and the last example for this part. It is stated that find the reciprocal of each of the following and simplify the answer. Okay, when you ask it to find the reciprocal of a number, it means that it is 1 divided by a given number. Now, let's see the solution for each. A. The reciprocal 19 will be equal to, we take 1 divided by the given number, which is 19. Now this is the answer. 1 divided by 19 is the reciprocal of 19. B. The reciprocal 1 divided by 9. The reciprocal of 1 divided by 9 is equal to 1 divided by 1 divided by 9, which is 1 by 1 times 9 by 1. Now the answer will be equal to 9. So the reciprocal of 1 divided by 9 is 9. C. The reciprocal 0.2. This will be equal to 1 divided by 0.2. And it will be equal to, this is equal to 1 divided by 2 divided by 10. Now it will be equal to 1 times 10 divided by 2, so the answer will be 5. The reciprocal of 0.2 is equal to 5. D. Reciprocal 14 square will be equal to the same 1 divided by the given number, which is 14 square. 14 square is equal to 196. Now, the reciprocal of 14 square is equal to 1 divided by 196. E. Reciprocal AB square bracket raised to 4. The same reciprocal 1 divided by a given value. Now it will be 1 divided by AB square raised to 4. It will be equal to 1 divided by A raised to 4, B raised to 8, as this 4 is multiplied in each value within a bracket as an exponent. So this will be the reciprocal of AB square bracket raised to 4. F. Reciprocal. You ask it to find the reciprocal 1 divided by 7 raised to 2. This will be equal to the same 1 divided by this. It will be equal to 1 times 7 raised to 2 divided by 1. Now 7 square is equal to 49. So the reciprocal of 1 divided by 7 raised to 2 is equal to 49. G. E.g. reciprocal 0.25 raised to negative 2. The reciprocal of 0.25 raised to negative 2 will be equal to 1 divided by 0.25 raised to negative 2 as it is. This will be equal to 1 divided by 0.25 this way, negative 2. But remember, the exponential form in which the exponent is negative To make it a positive exponent, you should reciprocate it now. It will be equal to 1 divided by 1 divided by 0.25 raised to positive 2. Now division changes to multiplication, so it will be 1 times 0.25 raised to 2 divided by 1. This will give us 0.25 square, and the final answer will be 0. When you take the square of 0.25, when you take the square of 0.25, you get 0.0625. This is the answer. So a reciprocal of 0.25 raised to negative 2 is equal to 0.0625. This is what I have prepared for you in this session. Now I hope you have enjoyed. Have a nice moment.